All right, live here tonight in qualifying. It is the Loose Lugnuts over the Support the Troop Truck Series. I got my series confused as we get ready to go racing here, or as we get ready to go qualifying here. I'm Matt Egan, joined by Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right. Well, at least 20 plus drivers are about the same way I'm looking at it here tonight. Watkins, Glen, road course racing. Final race before a drop race between race 4 and now, whichever week we are officially in. So it will be an interesting race. I think, and I hope our fans and viewers out there that come to watch this race really take in the points matter, and we probably should go over that real soon.
Yeah, well, if you want to go over it before the race, we can. We can go over the top 12, however you want to do that.
Yeah, I've seen that it's about a minute 13 on fast times. So to get around this track, we'll go ahead and talk about those points. Mitch Reeves leads by 1 point over Justin Michael after that finish at Texas last week. Not really going to help Mitch much unless he gets another win, add towards his bonus points into the playoffs. Trent Drum sits third. Randy Arms late into the qualifying and practice, he's fourth. Ronald Klein fifth. Jeff Gilmore sixth. Brian Abbott seventh. Ray Richard eighth. Kyle Chadwick ninth. Brandon Murray 10th. Jeff Merck will be 12th. Keith Haney officially scored 12th, but his spot will be open because I do not see him on track. Jack Watts will be looking to move into that. He's 13th. Let's see, 22 points behind where Keith Haney is officially at. Thornhill is 4 behind Jack Watts. And 14th, Jeremy Crandall, 6 behind Brandon Thornhill. So I think Jack Watts, Brandon Thornhill, and Jeremy Crandall are bubble drivers going in tonight. Now, it's not the official end of points for the regular season until after Daytona, but it's good marking to know how you're going to do, because the Glen and Daytona, probably the two mind-heaviest tracks that we can finish.
Yeah, Daytona, the biggest wild card race. Watkins, Glen, at least the outcome is in your own hands for the most part, as it is a driver's track. Now, the question up for debate between drivers, how do you want to shift the race car? Because you can set it in iRacing, and I know this ain't realistic to the real truck being a 4-pattern H shifter, or a 4-speed H shifter, but you can set it in iRacing to either be an H pattern or a sequential, and depending on the driving style, I think some drivers might actually run a sequential gear shifter here tonight, as it'll help you hit shift points probably a little bit quicker than an H pattern might, depending on the driving style.
Yeah, I quite agree. I mean, usually I use a sequential shifter since I moved to a G29 years and years ago. Left the old G27H pattern behind. So, a lot of drivers, I agree with that, Matt. We'll move over to sequential. Don't want to take the hands off the wheel too much, unlike in real life, where you're not given that too much opportunity. However, I don't think iRacing had an official set for Watkins, Glen in the truck, because I'm not sure
Zach
if they
McSwain spinning out with Ken Richardson.
Yeah, I'm not sure the official truck in NASCAR visits Watkins Glen anymore. I think it's Road America.
They go to Canada, actually.
Yeah, Canada? Oh.
Yeah, they go to Mosport.
Yeah, this was... They took a road course and set and started with that here in the league, and they spent a lot of time before the dirt race yesterday getting that ready for tonight. And if you get a chance, go out there. Matt did post up the dirt race from last night with some commentary.
I did actually get that up on YouTube. If you do wish to watch that, it is up, the feature in its entirety. Unfortunately, none of the heat races, as qualifying has wrapped up here tonight. And it looks like Mitchell Reeves will most likely probably walk away with the podium position, or the pole position, I should say. Justin Michael finishing up his final lap. Come off for turn number 4. Actually, he might be able to squeeze one more lap out of it He's got a minute and a half left to go. But
Well,
he won't try for it.
Yeah, if he crosses the start-finish line as he nails the wall, yeah, you got to be already past the start-finish line when that checkered officially comes out.
Judd Danielson getting to the stripe.
Proves his time.
Brandon Murray going up through the S's right now, so he's got a lot of racetrack left to cover still. Got a whole lot of racetrack. He'll go through the bus stop right about now. Pretty good form into it and good form out. Touches the curbing, just a touch. Through the carousel corner, not too shabby. Keeps it locked to about the first seam, right out onto the final straightaway, down into turn 7 and 8. Pretty good run there. Gonna set up for the corner, and he'll hit that apex pretty nicely. Coming off, not even gonna brush the curbing into your final corner, turn number 8 here. And he'll come right off, and again, not even brushing the curbing, and he'll finish his lap here. What's he gonna put down? Actually, he did finish the lap, but he didn't improve his time.
Nope, so that's a tip there for Brandon. It's still a good time.
That does allow Mitchell Reeves to secure the pole position.
Yeah, and you got a nice-looking pace car out there finally, Matt.
Yeah, Porsche pace car. You can see how much newer the model is compared to the Mustang and how it actually looks good.
Gene Rogers out there on YouTube. Sorry you couldn't make the race tonight, Gene.
So I'll let you go through the starting lineup here, Jeff. Of course, Mitchell Reeves scoring his the pole position here tonight.
Yep, this will be the actually, from what I see on the Dan Elisa side, this is his first pole of the season in the trucks. So Mitchell Reeves with a minute 13.199. That's faster than he did in practice. Randy Arms, late show, doesn't matter. He's second. Ken Richardson third. Mark Jackson, when he gets locked back in, hopefully he can, will be fourth. We've seen him do this a lot, have to start in the back, even with a great qualifying spot. Jeff Merck, the 60 machine, fifth. Justin Michaels, sixth. Zach McSwain, seventh. Travis Browder, eighth. Brandon Thornhill, ninth. Brandon Murray, 10th. Ronald Klein, 11th. Brian Abbott, 12th. Kyle Chadwick, 13th. Jack Watts, 14th. Tony Romack, 15th. Ray Richards, 16th. Judd Danielson, 17th. And Andrew Feston, 18th. Non-qualifiers were Trent Drummond, 19th. Topper Dugas, 20th. Jeff Gilmore, 21st. Jeremy Crandall, 22nd. James Haney, 23rd. And Chris Voiles, last on the field, 24th. Small field, considering, but, you know, I think Daytona next week will be back up to 30-plus drivers.
Yeah, the road course always kind of brings out a smaller amount of drivers than what you typically see. So I'm not entirely surprised by that. And I got to agree with you, we'll see more drivers at Daytona as they work their way through the 90 under pace laps. This will be the first time tonight. Now, is this a late evening race by chance? Or is this the morning sun we're seeing?
I am looking at the weather. I can't see it on here
Should
at
say
the
like
moment.
session time.
Oh, that is true. Session time is 0900 hours. So, yeah, we're in the morning session.
Okay, so that's the morning sun we're seeing. I was about to say, if that's the evening sun, we might have a problem.
Yeah, that's a pretty early in the afternoon for an evening sun this time of year.
But that is the morning sun, 9 o'clock in the morning. So, in the world of the sim racing, let's, I was going to say something good there, and I completely lost my train of thought. Going through the bus stop here, drivers here getting one last look at their brake markers at a reasonable speed because there are no cautions here tonight. So from the drop of the green, it is all go. The only cautions will be local course cautions. So that's something to remember for these drivers. And so they're just, like I said, just getting one more look at their brake markers at a normal pace speed before they go green.
Yeah, 34 lap, though. I imagine if you're going to sit back and watch this, it'll be about a 40, 45-minute race, and I hope those cautions are off. I'm sure the admin has got it set up correctly. I'm seeing a incident count DQ limit, but no incident count penalties. The incident count DQ is set to 15, which might be worrisome if you're as bad as a road course driver as myself.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see how it all plays out. Pace car down. Here we go. We're racing. And it is Mitchell Reeves out and away.
Yeah. Randy at a disadvantage on the outside. Ken Richardson going to take it down with this right-hand turn, trying to get second. Randy using all the track up to the rumble strip.
And a pretty great start by Mitch Reeves up through the S's for the first time this evening. They are all single file coming on to the back straightaway. It is going to be Mitchell Reeves and Randy Arms battling for the race lead. Mitch Reeves has it, and the entire field has singled out. Down into the bus stop, Mitchell Reeves, Randy Arms, and Ken Richardson. Your top three out of the bus stop. Over to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait for the camera angles because that was the first time that they'd be under some heavy braking. Looks like all the drivers got through as we come through the carousel. Looking for the back straightaway and the left-hand turn. Up front, still the same. Not many people making positions. I was talking to some drivers early on.
Randy Arms hard off the racetrack. He'll go into the tire barrier.
Oh boy, did not know how that was going to react, and it barely. Oh, he's got slides it. He's going to have to wait.
12 car Trent Drum spun out. Chaos in the first lap here tonight. It is Randy Arms that will fall victim to the most of it. That car,
he nailed that thing.
That truck is going to have. I mean, I want to say it's going to have suspension damage. We're going to look at the replay, folks. And we're going to watch from in car, and you see how he loses control of it. He tries to save it, just hooks on him. He hit it pretty hard. You can see the right side of it crinkle as he rejoins the racetrack, almost colliding with the field. You see Trent Drum spinning out behind him. And just watch.
I did mention Randy was late into the practice session. Only got probably 2 official laps down. Might be, I hate to say it week after week, but, tire model and this truck at this track.
The 33 truck went off in the bus stop there, forced it 3 wide. Randy Arms gaining ground as he passes Ray Richer now, so he is on the hunt back to the front of the field. He is now 18th, but he has got damage, and like I said, I wonder if any of it may be terminal to the suspension system of that truck. I have to imagine with how hard he hit that tire barrier, there's got to be at least a little bit of steering damage in that truck.
Yeah, well, he'll have to get it for the rest of the night. 33 laps left for Randy Arms to...
Ray Richer down pit lane.
Ray, well, that's an early for Ray, unless he has some serious damage. We may have missed something.
He does.
Oh, he's got front end damage. I'll go back and look at him a little bit, see where it may have happened.
We'll watch him here. We'll stay on his camera for a moment and see what he decides to do.
Oh, 44 out, entering the carousel on the exit of the bus stop.
And he'll stay in his pit box. I don't know if he's retiring the truck or just getting damage repairs. But he will go multiple laps down.
If you're the first one out and in the top 12 in points, like Ray Richer is, you don't want to be that guy. That's still a 23-point gap from first to last place tonight. You don't want to be the first guy down inside, the points bubble.
Oh, we got one truck into the wall. Justin Michael. He hit the inside wall on the front straightaway. Right front.
Browder getting by him. That's major damage. He's having trouble steering it.
Similar to Randy Arms. Now, you got to wonder 2 things. 1, suspension and steering damage. too. Do you think that's going to cut down the tire, the force of the impact?
It could. We haven't visited that too much, but now we got a lot of left and right hand turning to do tonight. We could see our first flat tire. Randy Arms off the speedway, 4th in points, so he's going to be, negative 23 points to the rest of these drivers here this evening.
Randy Arms electing to retire that race truck for the moment. Andrew Fesden in pit lane, a lap down, getting damage repair. Ray Richer back out on the speedway with heavy damage, but is out on track. Of course, the main story right now, Mitchell Reeves is leading by a pretty significant margin over Ken Richardson.
Yeah, Mitch was great during practice. Probably one of the top 3 drivers during practice. Obviously, qualifying was good to him. Now he's proven that he wants that extra bonus point going into Daytona. He wants Daytona as the drop, or not the drop race, but as the last potential race that he has to worry about rather than this week.
Yeah, and you watch Jeff Merck behind Ken Richardson. Looks like Merck trying to set up a pass. Mark Jackson was setting up a pass, but he braked way early for the bus stop. I can't necessarily blame him, as that can be sometimes pretty hard to judge how you want to brake in that corner. Zach McSwain trying to go for it on Jeff Merck right now.
McSwain loose onto the back straightaway there as we come down to turn number 7.
McSwain's got a pretty good truck right now, it looks like.
He was fastest at one point during the practice session. I didn't see him put down too many consistent laps. By consistent, I mean, consecutive. Sometimes you're worried solely about qualifying on nights like these. But he's so far proven me wrong out there, obviously, for 6+ laps now.
Yeah, Mitchell Reeves still holding on to the race lead, though, and he's about 3 seconds off. Now, when do you think we can expect these trucks to start pitting? Is Justin Michael, looks like he might have retired that truck.
Yeah, Justin Michael did wow. I mean, that's based on lap count here. Justin Michael's going to end up 20 points back to Mitch Reeves off the track. Oh,
yes,
boy.
He is. He'll fall back to 3rd, 4th, 5th.
I had to go back to see what happened. Boy, he just carried way too much speed into the bus stop.
And look, you can see he tries. Watch as he enters the bus stop on this replay. You'll see he tries to slow down. He tried, and he didn't lock it up, but he tried to slow down. Luckily, he did not hit the tire barrier like Randy Arms. He kept the truck free of damage. But boy, did he ever lose ground. That means this battle for the lead's just gotten a lot more interesting with Ken Richardson out in front.
Yeah, Ken is up for a win. It's been a while since we've seen Ken on the podium. Dealt with a lot of unfortunate races so far. If he can keep that thing up there, Mitch is going to have a tiny bit of damage on that right front. He just didn't skin the tire barrier. Maybe not enough for a damage model.
I was going to say, I don't see it on the truck, but I would imagine it's modeled like you said.
Yeah, I imagine just a little bit. And obviously, tire model-wise, he did go through the gravel there, shot some dirt out on the exit of the bus stop entrance to the carousel.
Yeah, but I'd imagine he's unscuffing, or not unscuffing, but cleaning off the debris off the tires by now. And you'll notice he's back up to 4th. He got by Mark Jackson.
Oh, Mark loose on entrance.
Yeah, he got bad loose. That 3 truck did, but he saved it. I would imagine. Oh, I spoke too soon. No, he saves it again. That looked like he downshifted too quickly.
Yeah. So trouble spots, bus stop at turn 7 tonight.
That looked like exactly what happens when you downshift and the truck and you downshift too quickly and the revs hop up and it just steps out in the rear end.
Oh yeah.
Also,
I'm really worried about Go ahead.
I want to give a quick shout out to Kevin Winner, commenting in the YouTube chat, and his comment was, "What up from the delivery room of my first daughter?" So congratulations on the new addition to your family there, Kevin, and thank you for tuning in with the American Sim Network during that time as well.
Yeah, dude, congrats. Kids are amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Older,
congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, pay attention to the wife or girlfriend there, and
I was about to say that
congrats.
too. I would about to say that too. You might want to pay attention to your wife other than watching our race.
Oh, big battle for second there. Ken may be the most consistent.
Yeah,
but he's
definitely.
Probably not the fastest at the front right now.
Maybe hang on and watch us battle for the lead. This is going to be good, though. Looks like Zach McSwain dived it in there. He didn't get it, though. Ken had the door on him. And look who's up to third. Look who just took over third.
Hey, he's already proven he's seconds faster at this point.
Mitch Reeves is coming for that lead again. Bet you Ken Richardson wishing he had a bit of DRS there to pull away, but unfortunately, these trucks do not have that, and he is going to be with Zach McSwain. Trent Drum pulling off to let these drivers by. Good on Trent Drum there. But these four drivers, I tell you what, this is a road course. Would you expect there to be such a close battle for the lead?
Not until the end of the race, but boy, they are giving some excitement to a road course race. Normally we'd be talking about points and people on the track. Now we're just focused up front.
Down to the inside went Zach McSwain. It didn't happen for McSwain that time. 10 laps into this race now. 34 is your scheduled distance, of course.
Should be the final distance.
Well, yeah, that's true. We can't get a green, white checker because we can't get a caution. Jeffrey Merck, meanwhile, just waiting in the wings for something to happen. I can't say that's a bad strategy.
No, he challenged Mitch on the last turn 8 exit there, but backed off. Now it's just, I think Mitch may have used up a lot of tire. McSwain and Richardson out front putting on a great show. McSwain's forcing Ken Richardson to make a mistake at this point.
Yeah, and he might have gotten it. Ken Richardson was a little squirrely through the bus stop.
Yeah, had to go wide on carousel.
He got the inside for a moment, but like I said, he gets there. McSwain gets there, but he's not able to complete that pass. That's the problem for Zach McSwain. And there we go. There's the pass.
Clean
Ken
pass.
Richardson going to have to fight back for that lead now. Mitchell Reeves, third place. 11 laps into this race now.
Mitch goes to the inside, down towards the bottom for turn number 1.
Mitchell Reeves will get it into the corner. What a pass.
Merck wanted the pass on Rick, and Richardson said enough. Slams the door a bit.
Brandon Thornhill's got an issue. Brandon Thornhill went way. Oh, Jack Watts hard into the inside tire barrier. Just past the 90. Oof.
That is tough for that 084. He's been struggling of late. He's just on that bubble to get into the top 12. He needs to. These last 2 weeks are really important.
Chris Voiles is out of the race. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry. He was blinking. I thought he disconnected. That's my bad. But Ray Richard 3 laps down, back in pit lane, and I'm wondering if he might call it a night.
Well, at this, his only passer would be Trent Drum. Ray's probably just watching the rest of the track at the moment. If he's got the opportunity to put down some laps, he should. But with obviously what he's thinking is, if I'm going to go out there at any point, I should have a fully repaired truck or maximally repaired truck.
Yeah, and right now 19 drivers left on the lead lap. Mitchell Reeves has gotten second. He has to chase down Zach McSwain. Ken Richardson is third right now.
Yeah, Ken's barely holding on that spot too. There goes Jeff Mark now to the inside of him. Right hand, left hand through the bus stop.
And
Gets
good
the pass,
run.
stick up to third.
Good run for these drivers. Travis Browder, 6th place. I want to give a little shout out to him for the way he's been running. He's been running this race pretty well, considering the technicalities.
Yeah, all those right hands will confuse us circle track drivers sometimes.
Yeah, so pretty good running for Travis Browder. Of course, you're at 3 wide there for a moment. Mark Jackson has to fall back as he ran off the speedway again. So Mark Jackson has got an issue.
Yeah, he started 4th. He's fallen back. I don't think he's really recovered from those couple slip-ups.
Yeah, and you know that it's hard to recover because if you're in a groove, right? And if you fall out of that groove, it is very hard to get back into it.
No, you could be the fastest truck here at the Glen, but it's all about the time difference now between him and first place.
And you run the same line lap after lap, and you try to hit the same braking points. If something gets you thrown off of that, it's just hard to get back into that mentality, you know?
No, he's got a good guy to look at in front of him, Travis Browder. So, you know, they're using a lot of, you know, the rumble strips here, too, in these trucks. We'll probably see a little bit more of that detrimental factor come Sunday in the Cup cars because front ends.
Yeah, that is for sure. I was going to say, the Cup car, I don't think you're going to see them hitting the rumble strips as much. The truck, I think you do, because the truck, here's the thing, the truck is a little bit, it's a more easier vehicle to handle. You have less power, and I want to say it weighs more. I think it does. So it slides around. It's more prone to just, you can throw it around a bit more.
Yeah, and, you know, like I said, the front end splitter on that Cup car. Oh, Brandon Murray doors the 3.
Murray
bad entry there to turn 1.
Well, Brandon Murray wanted, and Brandon Thornhill spun himself out. Brandon Murray wanted that apex, and he said, I'm taking it. But in the end, it actually didn't help him. Mark Jackson still held the position.
Brandon Murray back off the gas there. I think he conceded the position at the moment. Back to the 3.
Mark Jackson currently runs 14th. He currently runs 7th, 14 laps in. Brandon Murray got a good run through the bus stop, though.
Yeah, Brandon's fast. May even be as fast as Zach McSwain at certain points of the track. I'm really impressed with the two during practice with how fast he was.
Yeah, small wiggle out the back end as he came onto the straightaway into 7 and 8, but none too shabby for the number 2 machine. He'll look to the inside once again. Well, he'll look to driver's left and complete that pass.
Yeah, Mark Jackson a little bit squirrely on entry there to turn number 7, allows the 2 with the better momentum.
Jackson's got a good run, but just not the best form, if that makes sense.
Yeah, his turn 7 probably the bad part on the track for him at the moment. I've seen him mess up there at least 2 to 3 times on entry.
Yeah, because I think he has a good line. I just think he doesn't hit the braking points the way he needs to be, you know?
I'm seeing a lot of wheel hop. Oh, wow, he slid that thing good there. But the wheel hop down into those hard left to rights, if you're too much onto the brake or have too much bias, you know, front to back on this truck, one thing you can adjust in a fixed setup is the brake bias. You want a nice even glide in. You don't want that thing wheel hopping going into those hard lefts and rights.
Yeah, that could definitely be a factor as well, as you mention it. Mark Jackson looks to the inside. Not going to happen for Jackson that corner. He wants back by Brandon Murray. Yeah, Mark Jack. Well, you know, you follow the faster truck. Eventually, you're going to pick up on him.
Yeah. Mark Jackson's probably, ultimately faster, but with, like you said, inconsistent line at the moment.
And he hopped the little rumble strip there. And Brian Abbott wrecks. Bad wreck.
Get that truck turned around. Don't. He's gonna reset. I think.
Yeah, he's done. I think he's calling it because you watch what happened to him, and it wasn't that horrible of a wreck. But coming out of the bus or the 90, yeah, just tags the wall.
See Jack Watts getting away. Brandon Thornhill into the pits. So we got probably some pitting going on here.
Ken Richardson in pit lane. Ken Richardson has got damage. I don't know where he picked that up. You look at his left front.
Hope that 82 machine and Brian Abbott continue. He's 7th place in points in this truck series. So again, looking at a possible 18-point swing for him, depending on where he finishes.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but Ken Richardson, he blew his motor.
What?
Yeah, there's smoke.
Oh, wow.
Look on pit lane. There is smoke pouring out of that 16 truck, and I don't know when that happened.
Oh, he was going through, let's see, I'm looking lap 16 that he's officially on, goes through the bus stop, hits too much grass, and on the exit of bus stop, hits, James Haney involved. Judd Danielson barely gets through. And I think he blew his motor out of frustration trying to turn that around.
Yeah, and you see James Haney there, Third Rock Racing number 55 truck, has got damage on the left rear of his spoiler.
Leader pitting, McSwain down, Mitch fast into the box. I don't know if he had a speeding penalty there with that 0-2.
Hopefully not.
He made up a lot of ground on McSwain on pit road entry.
He might just have been a little bit more daring, and, hopefully he didn't cost himself with how daring he was being.
McSwain in box 7, Mitch in box 1. It's still 4 tires and all the fuel you can get. At this point, I think they can make it towards the end.
Yeah, they went, about
17?
17 laps, and they'll have 17 to go. They'll be able to go the full distance.
Hard run. Yeah, Ken done for the night. Unfortunate for Ken Richardson. McSwain almost spins it. That is a tricky pit road exit. That part where you come off turn number 1 there is a little bit banked.
And look who recovered the lead, though. Mitchell Reeves with a fantastic pit stop.
Yeah, just going to have that lead coming out. Looks like Merck's rolling up around 3rd. Hopefully he doesn't try too hard to catch these guys. Just let it come to you there in that 60 machine.
You want to talk about potentially race-winning strategy? That pit stop very well could have won Mitchell Reeves this race. Of course, 17 laps to go. A lot can still happen.
Yeah, there's not much time between these two right here, but
now, if you had to pick a driver to win here, who would you pick?
Well, I mean, right now it's between the 02 and the 091. If they get tangled up, the guy sitting 5th on my board at the moment was an early top 3 pick, Kyle Chadwick. I'm not sure if he's in the pit cycle right now, but we'll have to see. 88 was a good pick. He's really far behind. Right now that top 3, Ken Richardson would have been in that, running 2 if he hadn't got that damage and had to exit the speedway. So between that top 3, I think it's pretty much, down to that mark.
Yeah, if I had to pick a driver, I'm actually not going to go with Mitchell Reeves solely for the fact that he kind of spun himself out with a 3-second lead. I want to go with Zach McSwain. I feel like McSwain going to be able to capitalize if Mitchell Reeves makes a mistake, and I just got a feeling he's going to win this race.
He did last time. That's a good pick and good way to put it, too. The 091 capitalized on the guy in front that made a mistake and then did not make a mistake himself. He did lose a second and a half into the pit box somehow. So, but with that out of the equation, I think the 091 could be in a good position as long he cannot lose the back bumper of the 02. Even if he does, he's just then hoping the 02 loses his point on the track.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's just going to be my pick there. I think Travis Browder has a good shot at a podium, though, if we see a problem, say, out of Jeffrey Merck. Because he's too far back to make a pass, though.
Yeah, top five. Well, I mean, fourth, fifth are about 24 seconds back from our leader, 26 seconds now. So that's a huge margin. That's just due to pit stop location on which lap they did go.
And right now, 14 at the stripe. So not a lot of racing left. Anything, of course, is still possible.
Yeah, I'm just monitoring the points. There goes third place in points, another lap down. Trent Drum making up all his points possible by finishing races, and looks like he's just going to try and finish here tonight in that 12 machine.
Yeah, crazy to see Trent Drum losing so much ground. Of course, the question going to wind up being, what happens to Trent Drum in the point standings? He'll definitely lose ground and hopefully still make it into the chase, though, come the end of Daytona.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Sid Michael and Randy Arms off the track, that's second place in points, and fourth place in points off the speedway. I think Trent Drum's fine doing 50 miles an hour less than what the leaders are. Oh, McSwain around.
Big wreck. McSwain does a 180. He gets it rolling again. Jeffrey Merck will take over second place.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Mitch doing that last time. Looks like it was McSwain's turn. Just pushed it too much through the bus stop.
So on the list of things I was expecting to see tonight, Zach McSwain doing a full 180, not one of them. Gotta be honest with you.
No, McSwain already has 2 second place finishes. I would hate for him to get a third second place finish. Maybe a third place is probably easier to swallow at this point for that 091.
And he's becoming the bridesmaid of Loose Lugnuts Racing League.
Yeah. At some point, you just got to break that wind barrier on the asphalt. Obviously, he's got some wins in the dirt side of things.
He's got quite a few on the dirt side of things. He's a incredibly talented dirt driver.
You just got to. It's one of those things. It took me a couple of years here at Lugnuts, racing behind some great drivers, to learn, how to get around certain speedways, certain vehicles. And, McSwain's learned pretty darn fast from these guys, and he's just that far away. He almost won at Richmond early in the season. I know he's got a second place finish somewhere else off the top of my head, but he's got to hunt some more.
Well, didn't Zach McSwain win one of the Xfinity races last week at Texas? Didn't he win the Xfinity race?
McSwain? No, I thought Justin Michael won that one. I could be wrong.
I thought he might have placed podium because I remember seeing a post about it.
Yeah.
Look on the Dan Lisa page.
Yeah, most of those posts you can find if you're not already involved in Loose Lugnuts Racing is on the Facebook page, Loose Lugnuts Racing Group at Facebook.
Yeah, no, that was Daniel Smallwood that won that race. And then
28 of Chris Voiles off the track.
Truck side of thing, it was Kevin Winter,
who's at the hospital at the moment.
Good reason to be at the hospital, though, for Kevin Winter. But yeah. So Zach McSwain, becoming the perennial bridesmaid of loose Lugnuts racing, kind of filling the Kyle Larson role. If you think back to 2016-17 before Kyle Larson broke out and won.
Kyle Larson is a great driver out there.
And a great dirt driver.
Yep. So that looks like a Zach McNess type of fold here. 33 on the inside. 091 60 get to the corner, but on the high side, 091 drops it down there. 60's not going to like that pass because, you know, those were teammates right there.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to live with it as Zach McSwain does regain second place. Well, here's a question: if we're comparing Zach McSwain to Kyle Larson, do we go to Auto Club at any point in the remainder of this season?
Nope. Auto Club was first race of the year.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I just don't remember if it appeared. I didn't remember if it had a double feature.
No. Well, McSwain's now got 6.5 seconds to get to Mitch Reeves. Jeff Merck fall back a little bit. McSwain was probably obviously the faster truck there. I just don't think Merck will be too happy with the style of pass.
Yeah, probably not. And Mitchell Reeves, I gotta say, with 10 laps to go, provided he doesn't, spin himself out or have a problem, he's probably the one to win this race. He's probably going to be the one to win this race with a 5-second lead. Not saying that something can't happen, but the likelihood. Tony Romack battling with Brandon Murray, it looks like. The Hemp Shack machine.
Yeah. Romack, surprisingly good road racer. I've raced a couple with him in the past, and it's just, he's just one of those guys that sneaks up on you. He may not be the best at road course races, and he just shows you how good his racecraft is getting around the speedway.
And right now, 9 laps to go. I believe, no, still 10.
Yeah, we always forget about the one extra.
Yep. Well, Mitchell Reeves, here's my question. Do you think he's going to have a problem?
Anyone can. Mitch already proved he could have a problem on the track. McSwain's actually cut down some time, so McSwain finding, extra tires at some point, even though Mitch and Zach there pitted at the same interval. In fact, bumper to bumper at that point when they were pitting.
And right now, 8 laps to go when we get to the stripe. Mitchell Reeves going up the S's, gonna get by Ray Richer. Now,
yeah, Ray's first lap back on track too.
Now Watkins Glen, right? In real life, I've been to this race a few times. They had this hot dog that they sold. I was mindless this because Mitch just went by this the billboard for the meat company. They had this hot dog that they sold that had it was in a pretzel bun. It had goldfish, melted cheese, and macaroni and cheese on it. And
sounds American to me.
It was about the weirdest thing I've probably ever eaten, combination of flavors wise. But gotta admit, wasn't that bad.
Is it only at Watkins you can find this?
Yes. Though I would imagine if you, crushed up goldfish, put melted cheese and macaroni and cheese on a hot dog on a pretzel bun, you'd make a very similar concoction.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone out there in chat been to the Glen besides Matt here? Let us know your experience and which corner you like to go sit in.
I actually just renewed my tickets for this year. This past weekend. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to August. Anyway, Mitchell Reeves 7 at the stripe and pulling away to the tune of 5.1 seconds. Good run.
He's dropped time though to McSwain.
Looks like Mark Jackson gonna get by Kyle Chadwick potentially.
Yeah, Browder's maybe a little bit holding up Chadwick, or maybe Chadwick's fine running behind him, but Mark Jackson, I think, is a top 5 truck of the evening if he can keep it at full speed.
Yeah, Mark.
Chadwick for the pass. Browder lets him go.
Yeah, I think Browder might be in the position of saving fuel potentially, and Chadwick just went off.
Exit a bus stop yet again. Chadwick into the grass, off the end of the carousel. If you're gonna make someone mess up, the place to let him go by at full speed is into the bus stop. You missed your braking point.
So right now, 6 laps to go. Good run, though, by Mitchell Reeves. And you're right, he has lost about 2 seconds. I wonder if he's saving fuel.
He could be. He'd be like a half a lap short. It is a 2.43, so almost 2.5 mile track. I don't know, Michigan, Indy, those type of tracks come into mind of just what you have on distance-wise. So I guess Indy being the closest one to that margin. Fuel ratio-wise, you'd have to think about the same.
5 at the stripe. Mitchell Reeves trying to nurse it back. Well, I wouldn't say nurse it back quite yet, but he's trying to get back on fuel. And Brandon Thornhill not letting him by.
Yeah, O2's not going to be happy about that.
I don't know if you saw that there, Jeff, but
I saw that.
I watched it. I'm like,
I saw it.
Man, I like Brandon Thornhill, but man, I don't know what he was doing. I'm sorry, Brandon, but I don't think that was all that intelligent. I'm sorry, man.
The 68 just found himself in the moment right there. That's not going to help his overall time to McSwain. I barely saw it. I was looking at some pretzel hot dog at the moment.
Yeah, but that was an interesting move. The 85 Judd Danielson looked like he considered a pit stop for a moment and then considered not pitting. Here's my question. Think we're going to have to see anyone pit?
Yeah, I think there were a couple guys that didn't realize you could stretch it as much. A couple of guys may not know the shifting correctly. As I mentioned at the top of this race, that this is a non-official setup. Everyone's running the same setup, but it was developed in-house. So it could be the guys that have the best idea of where to shift and efficiently use fuel.
Yeah, that is true. And Trent Drum goes off the speedway to let Mitch Reeves by.
Yeah, does not want to be in the way of that O2. O2's had enough traffic as we track this first place to second place gap. Now only 2.5, 2.3.
Yeah, it is down to 2.86. But it is shrinking just a little bit. So with 4 laps to go, Mitchell Reeves is in a position to win this race, but Zach McSwain is in position to steal this win away, depending on how this all plays out.
He's using a lot of time in that 091. I'm not sure if he has too much. He can't have too much tire left. We've already mentioned the 02 and 091 pitting at the same spot. 091 probably faster overall around the speedway, but how much of that truck is he really using compared to what Mitch Reeves may be saving?
And right now, Jeffrey Merck. I wonder if Jeffrey Merck just sitting back there to the tune of about 17 seconds back. Do you think he's got any plan up his sleeve if these leaders run out of fuel, or you think he's just accepted that he's going to finish third?
Oh, third place, at the Glen, I'd be happy with it going into Daytona of next week. Merck's just rolling around. If Mitch or Zach run out of fuel or get tangled up, whatever the equation may be, Merck's got to hope they do it at the carousel enough time for him to get up to those guys before they get back up to speed.
And right now, 3 more times around.
A little bit of loss there, about 3/10 loss for Mitch Reeves to Zach McSwain gaining. That's not going to equal a win for the 091 at this point. Only 3/10 per lap. Of course, if I was the 02, I would. You have to look at the relative and know how close he is and how much you're falling off. But at the same time, you don't need to be staring at it that much.
And 2 more laps to go here.
Potential traffic may be a problem for the 02 if he comes up to it. The 12 has been given way. A couple trucks haven't given way. 33 off the track. Nine cars on the lead lap. Jack Watson, that 084 being the last of them. That's going to help him in points.
Right now, final 2 laps. Mark Jackson trying to gain a little bit on Kyle Chadwick here. If he can.
Oh, a 7th loss on that lap from Mitch to Zach.
So not a lot of racing left. Can Zach McSwain get his first win in Lugnuts? McSwain wiggled it a little bit. Mitchell Reeves doesn't have a lot of time left. He doesn't have to hold him off much longer.
If we look in front of what's in front of Mitch Reeves is the back of the field of Brandon Murray, Ronald Klein, not Zach McSwain, but Jack Watts. Brandon Murray into the wall.
Oh man, that's not good.
They're gonna fly by him though.
Murray, I don't know what Murray was doing there. He kind of pulled out, then pulled back over.
Yeah, he was getting at it. Ronald Klein, in the way of the entry for the 02.
That's going to make life hard for Mitchell Reeves. And that's going to set up for an exciting final lap if Zach McSwain can get by. Yes, he can. It's going to be down to about half a second. 1 lap to go, presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs.
May not be enough until the very end.
Well, a bad quarter. Jack Watts has crashed. But so is Zach McSwain. And McSwain disconnected.
What?
I
hope not.
He did. McSwain is out. McSwain is out.
Not. They all hit him. Mitch didn't miss him. Mitch is continuing.
I don't know if he Alt F4'd or if he hit the incident limit.
Oh boy.
But as soon as he made contact with either Mitchell Reeves or Watts, McSwain is out.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him on the speedway.
I think he hit the incident.
I
think he hit the incident limit. What was the incident limit? Like 15, you said?
Yeah, 15.
I think he hit the incident limit.
I hope he didn't just disconnect because, Mitch hit him a ton.
He will be scored officially, I believe, 6. Mitchell Reeves, he'll come across the line. Mitchell Reeves will cross the line to win. Jeffrey Merck will cross the line second. Mark Jackson, third. Then Kyle Chadwick and Travis Browder, Brandon Murray, Romack, Thornhill, Watts, Gilmore, Abbott, Klein, Danielson, Drum, Crandell, Richard, Voiles, Haney, Richardson, Michael Fesden, and Arms rounds out your field. As my finishing results are a bit messed up. Officially scoring Zach McSwain 6th at the end of this race.
He'll. That's going to be not true because he'll finish a lap down because he did not complete the final lap.
Man, I don't know what to say about what happened to Zach McSwain. You can pull him up there if you really want and ask him, but I don't feel like he'd be too happy.
No, we'll go with the top 3 there.
I'll let you get. Well, I'll get our interview with the winner, and I'll talk to Mitch Reeves here. Mitch, have you got a copy on me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Man, I mean, you won that race. Zach McSwain either DQing or Alt F4. I don't know exactly what happened. We're still trying to piece that together ourselves. But how's the win feel?
Man, that was that was pretty crazy there at the end. Excuse me. Yeah, the 0-2 was pretty fast tonight. We came out and started out with a pretty solid lead there, and just gave it away. That was what was really tough about this race is you had one little small lapse of judgment and lack of concentration, you'd be off. And we messed up twice pretty good in the bus stop tonight, but came away with it. I really was really interested to see how that last lap was going to play out. Zach was way quicker than me, but I really toned down my pace way too much early, and I thought I could save some tires, but that really didn't do me much good. So definitely put that in the notes for the next one. But to come out of Watkins Glen with a win is very surprising, but very glad.
Now, do you think you would have wound up winning this race had you and Zach raced it out, or what do you think would have happened?
I don't know. He still was about 7 or 8 tenths back. He was catching about 3 or 4 a lap, and then I'd mess up or catch a lap car in the wrong place, and he'd really get a chunk on me. But it would have been interesting. Me and him were pretty even in practice. I know he would have been really wanting that first win, so it would have been an interesting race for the fans. But it was pretty crazy coming out of turn 1 and seeing a truck staring you right in the face and hitting it and actually still coming home with the win. That was insane.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing?
Yeah, huge shout out to Over the Top Paints and Designs. John Hedrick with this beautiful 0-2 truck. Huge shout out to Over the Top Motorsports. It looks like we got a 1-2-3 finish, or at least a first and second. So big shout out to those guys back there. Got to give you a shout out to John Hedrick, everything he does, you guys up in the booth. And last, and certainly not least, is my girlfriend for dealing with my racing addiction and everything she does for me here. So I love her.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us. Good job on the win tonight.
Thanks, man.
All right. And now Jeff Wood with Jeffrey Merck finishing up in second.
Yeah. Third place truck really here tonight, Jeff. Gifted a little second place there due to some incidents up the front. But, good steady race from you. You can't count much more than that at Watkins Glen if you're not up front, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I take all the gifts I can get at road courses. Hey, if you incident out and get kicked out of the race, that's just like gives me passing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. One more point to the positive there for the 60. That's going to help you hopefully going into Daytona. I'm not really sure where you end up in points tonight, but starting tonight, where do you think you were at?
In the trucks, I think I was just outside looking in, but I think I might be in the top 10 now, heading into Daytona.
11th in points heading in tonight, but, 2 big names out early, and Michael and Randy Arms. So there could be a big point swing still maybe on the bubble for the top 12 at Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona is, I just flip a coin up in the air and hope it don't land on you, or I should say flip a truck up in the air and hope it don't land on you.
No, Texas was wild with that itself. Hopefully Daytona is a little bit more settled. I'm sure we'll have more trucks next week. Go ahead and thank those people you need to for a second.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the big boss man, John Hendrick, painting the paint. I think I'm running the Over the Top Motorsports Chevy Silverado tonight. Racegear.com, support our troops. Abruzzi Racewear USA, all of our sponsors, Scoops Old Fashioned Ice Cream, all my teammates, Mitchell, Ronald, Mark Jackson, Over the Top Motorsports, you guys for broadcasting. Think I got everybody. Second place tonight, man. I couldn't that's a win for me on a road course.
Not like I mentioned, all those big names out early. That has to be a positive in points going forward for you. At least a couple positions that you have to not worry about next week to make up.
Yep, looking forward to going back and watching the broadcast, and I'll holler at you guys later.
All right, Mark, thank you.
All right, and last up here tonight, it is none other than Kyle Chadwick.
Nope, Mark Jackson.
Oh yeah, I got Chadwick.
Mark's officially third.
Yeah, my
It's
thing's
fine. Mark's officially third.
my thing's messed up. My bad. Anyway, Mark Jackson finishing third place here tonight. How you doing?
Man, yeah, we went down there and turned around on the road to come back up to get the photo finished and whatnot. Man, what a battle that last 10 laps with Browder and Chadwick.
I mean, hey, were you expecting to finish third when you started this race tonight?
You know, we knew we had speed in the truck. It was just a matter of not overdriving it because we were super free. And Browder had said it too. You know, the truck was really loose. If you know, on the exit of the corner, we were good in. It was just hard to control. And the, I don't know if it's turn 10 or turn 11, maybe the old turn 10, but I was having issues of staying off the grass in practice and managed to do that. But there was a couple I did run off the end of the sand trap down there. Shot me back to about 8th place, but we battled back to have a good finish after some misfortunes for some of the other guys in front of me.
Yeah, how'd that car handle for you though tonight, my man?
Oh, it was slicker than hell shit.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank? Sponsors, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I want to thank our troops. This is the Support the Troops series. Wouldn't be here without them. Thank my God. Thank my wife. Thank my team. This is a part of a great team here. I'm really proud to be a part of it. Reeves and Merck and Klein and everybody. Just glad to be a part of it, man, and blessed.
All right, man. Well, thanks for talking to us. Great job on the third place finish tonight, my man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, and from all of us at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We will see you tomorrow night for some great dirt racing action. And, of course, you can watch the rest of the Watkins Glen race week over at Max Speed TV. Hope you enjoyed tonight. We'll see you all in the next one.